So we're discussing about the IBS strategy. And the current context is, what if you have written only group 2 without taking coaching for group 1 or without preparing for group 1? And our super student Anurag, who has cleared group 2 last time, has done the same. He did not touch group 1, yet he scored 55 with very, very minimal preparation. I think it's very limited and minimal preparation. And that too, last time, nobody knew what IBS was all about until the question paper came out largely. So there is a lot of speculating factors. Now we are very clear. There are 100 plus case studies available and all of that, right? So Anurag, quickly, what did you do last time? And what do you think they should do this time? And after that, you can ask some questions. Yeah.
Last time, actually, since I was appearing for only one group, so what I did in April month, I took out 2 days specifically for preparation of IBS, like keeping all the books at my study room, and I practiced that. And this I did in the month of April, and then in the month of May, I means before 1.5 days before the exams, again I did the same thing. I went through the case study digest of institute and the repeated case studies in earlier attempts. And the main game which I found was that in the 4 hour exam, I actually broke that exam into, means the subject wise part I broke into, like which have more coverage of DTIT. In that way, I approached. And the question paper, I also broke that into that part only. Like specifically, I allotted wrote which subjects have means more coverage of DTIT, like which questions have more coverage of DTIT, that I attempted first, and then I went with the other subjects. And in the other subjects, like suppose FR, AFM, and that law costing, which I found that most of the time direct questions asked. So since direct questions were asked, so I went to search for the concepts, because at that time I had not studied anything. So I went to search for the concepts, and I found the concepts to be similar, and I attempted those questions, and I fetched those marks. So this was my strategy in 4 hour exams. And one more thing, means before going to the exams now, actually I had in my mind that I have to attempt 100 marks paper. If not 100 marks, 85 to 90 marks, 90 marks I have to appear. So this was my plan. So that accordingly I chalked it out. Any specific questions you have? Please ask.
Actually, this time I thought like I'll do index mapping for FR, AFM, and audit, so that even like the topics which I haven't covered, the topics which I don't know will get covered, so that will work, right?
Yes, you can get an overall idea of all the topics. So
Okay.
during the 4 hour exam, you'll be able to quickly glance through it. You'll be able to go to the respective chapters.
Because this, I think the recent MTP2 when we were actually solving,
Okay, okay.
so there we barely found any DTIDT questions. We found only through MCQs. So in that case, what are we supposed to do?
What are the so I think that question bank everyone has.
Yes, yes,
FR, AFM, and all this question bank.
yes.
So that way, I suggest that you go through the question
Okay.
from the respective topics you go through. Like whichever the case studies are there, from that the topics that have been covered, from that you go to the question where that is being asked. In that way, I will suggest you, because mostly what I found, the questions were direct for the group one subject.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Questions are very direct, directly from the question bank. Yes.
Any other questions from any? Yeah.
So what are the points you missed after writing exam? You might feel that these points, if I do, I could have scored even more better. What are those?
One question, what we study was there. There, moving average question was there, and low directed question was there. So in the first case, 2 questions I missed. But I did not get stuck. So I ended up only 86 marks.
Okay.
Because I was not familiar with group one. So I missed those questions, and I moved to the next question. Then one case study I missed question of Indian Burman. I was not able to exactly identify. Right, right.
Some of us don't even some of us have idea of group one, some of us don't even have idea of group one. So it's like they don't even know from which standard they're even asking. So what are they supposed to do to counter that? because this shouldn't happen again, right? Yeah.
So, Anurag, largely the set of questions they have is there is a definite chance of around 40 marks from group 1 at least. And based on the mock paper, the first mock paper which I made you write, it has more DTIDT. The next mock paper, it's more about group 1. That's what is scaring you, which is a possibility. So, one, when it comes to, because if you look at moving averages, you can spot the question, you know where it is, but you cannot apply because it's not just copy paste job. Now there comes the ability of choosing the right case study or leaving the right case study. Now one of the things which he has done, I think if I remember, the first thing he had done is after getting the question paper, you marked all the chapters. For each MCQ, he started marking subject and chapter reasonably. So that way, when you look at the overall 25 marks weightage, what is the major component of that? It is group 1 or group 2? Group 1, group 2. Because this time you don't have to worry about difficulty of the question, right? Because you have a book. So generally when we do the question choosing, difficulty of the question comes into picture. Here when you have a book as a context, you don't have to worry about difficulty and accuracy. You can directly use the book. So all you have to do is, if group 1 is your weak area, you just have to end up picking those case studies which has higher weightage for group 2 largely. That itself will solve the issue for you. So that way, because there is one case study where he left both the questions, like 10 marks you have to leave from the same case study. So that is something, if you can avoid, if you can take it to 95 somehow, you are largely sorted. I think that is something which you can do. And over and above, yeah, we prepared a strategy yesterday, sitting till 2 o'clock. It has come good. So largely, you'll be able to, let's say, out of 50 marks of group 2, 50 marks of group 2, including SCM, some of you wrote your SPM modules also. So that part is fresh in your mind. So the only constant is largely, even for audit, you can manage. FR and AFM technical questions. If they come, we cannot apply, which will be, I think, less than 25-30 marks, the component. So we'll target only 10 marks out of that. So remaining part, you can have a range of 55 to 65. That is exactly what we are looking at, which can help you hit the averages. Expecting 40, 45 on DT and IDT. So the balance can be extracted from here. Okay. Any other questions you have? Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Anurag. And we're expecting the base to be higher than 55. Since last time it was 55, we're looking at 65 at least. Okay. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you.